Cat here once again with another Frontier Signals update. So we're going to go through and cover everything, and first I just want to say something don't feel right. And it seems like whether it's geophysically or geopolitically, things are kind of breaking down. And people who are prepared for such scenarios are going to be more well off than anyone who decides to ignore what is going on. So anyways, with that being said, we've got these larger sunspots starting to come into view now, and we can see them over here on the magnometer. So, these other sunspot groups have been relatively stable, but what we got coming from the other side seems like it could be pretty major, especially heading into April. And that being said as well, we have some pretty large activity that has struck earthquake-wise. So down here there was a 7.5. It was relatively deep, so not really too much of a tsunami threat. But this is coming after the triple set of 6s that happened in this region just a little bit northeast of it. And there's even an earthquake not being shown on the USGS. So if we go to the global incident map, we see down here the last 72 hours of activity. Here's the cluster which involved the 6s and multiple upper range 5s in the same area. And then down here, just a couple days after, now we have this 7, mid-range 7. So it's being reported by two different agencies here. We can pull up the magnitude list on here and see that within the last 72 hours, overall, there's been just a ton of 5s and greater going on throughout the world. And a lot of these are happening in the ocean as well. And there's some feeling that I have that this is not all that there is. There could be something greater that is happening. So when we look at all the activity here, we've got large activity in the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, even down here south below South America. We've got earthquakes going on over here in the Indian Ocean, part of the entire Indo-Australian plate, which seems to be just completely breaking right now. So we have 6s, we have the 7.5, and let's see, what is this? We have a 5 down here, but again, they are not reporting the 6 that actually happened closer to New Zealand. We had a 6 over here previously. We have everything going on up here, including the deep activity. So, now hold on. Seems like those deep earthquakes, are they still there? I don't see any of the deep earthquakes anymore. So that's a little bit strange. Let me get a better view of it. Alright, so now we're looking at the entire week, every magnitude. Feeds here, we could turn on Australia feed just in case. And we're looking at all the deep earthquakes. And again, all the ones that happened in the past week up here in Alaska, like the really deep events, those are no longer on the feed whatsoever. So that's a little bit concerning. I really doubt those were false reports. I think those deep earthquakes in here did actually in fact happen, and now they have been completely scrubbed off of the earthquake feed. So again, that's why I say something doesn't feel right. Something both geopolitically and geophysically just seems completely off right now. Oh yeah, and one other thing, we go over here to the Italy earthquake map. There wasn't much going on for today, but again, I'm seeing more and more things wrong with the chart that they have here. So, earthquakes above magnitude 3, 75. Now, that's ridiculous considering just a couple days ago I literally covered the fact that there was 8 different earthquakes that happened above magnitude 3. And this, I remember this was sitting at about 73 is what they counted. And they have only accounted for 2 of those. in this chart here. So I think what happened was, since the beginning of the year, we have seen such a spike of activity in this region, and so it quickly skyrocketed to 50, 60 magnitude 3+ quakes, and then seems like someone kind of just shut off the valve for that data to actually appropriately get into this chart here, because I've noticed this for weeks now. They have not been accounting for all the earthquakes that have happened, and this chart has changed multiple times. And yeah, again, that's just another kind of BS thing that's happening with data being skewed, being forgotten, being lost. And I think that's only going to get worse going forward. And we have, again, this really large activity boiling up from this region. Something is not good, and it's pretty clear that what the global establishment or whatever is trying to do currently is pretty much bring in a complete economic collapse, because while it seems like people are increasingly becoming a little bit more ungovernable lately, and with everything going on that's causing chaos, stuff going on in Europe, and basically the fusion of the third world with the first world, which is incompatible with each other. The fires going on over here in the farmland, they're burning it all down. It's all coming to a close here, and you know, it's not really something I can even ignore or try to talk around anymore. It just is. It's just all happening. And again, if you're prepared, you know, you're going to be better off than those who are completely ignorant to what is potentially going on. So I don't know, I would say, you know, be prepared for these next few weeks, because whatever is happening, it's going to catch most people completely off guard. And yeah, I don't have a good feeling about what's coming. So yeah, just be prepared. I guess that's really going to do it for today's update. There's just so much processing that's been happening, and you know, I'm going through my own things. So, you know, hope for the best, pray for those that need it, and try to stay on top of it, because it's not going away, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, again, it's like, it's not about propagating fear, because that's what the establishment wants. That's why with these economic collapses that are underway, they want us to be scared. They want us to be held down so that we all beg for some sort of solution, which is not going to be in our best interest. We saw a very similar thing happen 6 years ago, if you know what I'm talking about. And, you know, again, it's a lot of the things in the news right now, they're parroting over and over again about, oh, you know, we gotta go through a short-term pain for a long-term gain, so to speak. Yeah, that's a load of crap. So whatever it is they want us to do next, just don't play along with it. Don't accept whatever sick agenda they're about to push down all of our throats. And with that, that'll conclude today's video. So hope y'all enjoyed, got something out of it. Please like and subscribe for more. Share this video if you dare, and I'll catch you all in the next.